Thank you, Anna and Amy, for having me. I'm going to read a few newer pieces first. This first two are in Filter Literary Journal, which if you haven't seen it, it's out of Seattle. It's hand-sewn. It's gorgeous. You should check it out. This is called Conic Ice End. And yet, at the Conic Ice End, at every spice, its color staged along her path, there's a woman he fails to mention behind the mirror, spying a tube of lipstick that has fallen on the floor, not to use on the lips which speak to the passerby, the tailor, the pianist, the pig, but to write on the wooden walls, "Darling, graffiti is to memory as duck is to down." To no one but the reader, who at this moment stirs the oil with a snore, so pleased to offer it to the night, which is slipping into successful transitions, memory of sorbet-colored sky brought down to the day by a great darkness, often misunderstood, except by the glittering world man on the horse heading down the path, who looks up to the graffitesse and nods toward her, though he's blind and possessed by many thoughts, like the one he carries with goosebumps across his arms. In Conic Ice End, village of mourning cloaks, time and space collect, fluorescent edged, and Pasha, it's the bridges we imagine matter between no man's land, our ghosts building infrastructures from the invisible flight. Between sheets. Lately, I've been in desperate need. Unlike blunt instruments, a story of meat. If I told you of the bridge or twilight, you might call me idealistic, a sheep. Sleep, not orgasm these days, is a sort of little death. Paint chipped off the walls, it happened before the child. You get up to leave the room. The shapes are animals in the body, yawns, stretches before a run. Turn on the lamp. Put away your weapon. The shadows begin to hum. The next two are pretty much brand new. So we'll see how these go. And I don't really know what the title is to this one, but I'll call it Absence for now. 1. It's the smell of me in between of life before you're going down. You can come through many languages. You speak 7. What are the languages? English, Arabic, dialects you name I can't spell, let alone in this elevator. Were you born here? No. When did you Sudan? 10 years ago. 2. Then there's half flurries, cigarette butts beyond the tile, the man in the Acura, sunglasses, the cold workhorse, carriage the carrying of no one. There's also the bell cap we neglected to tip the hot center of being alone, and the couples walking up tomorrow's Valentine, the old and the young. 3. And this death between my fingers, the apple light of you can't touch me, lounge song, and your time has come. 4. Last night I told my friend I can swing legs on African bone pattern bench, which has nothing to do with 7 languages. One big clock swings leaving out Chicago's L. 5. Look back at architecture of beat, called beat contact or encounter, speech erotics, marble poetics of a ball, a way of making culture is the way to make a pebble sing. Motherhood, punk rockers, earthquake, syntax of language and the mind, self-hypnosis and the nerve net. Nietzsche, Bataille, the closer experience with the body and geology, hybridization products, no such thing as purity. The naked king is Lear facing the audience, sitting in your lap, weaving through your aisles. 6. Little dog, little man still swinging, absent moon, present song still singing, over slow taxis to stoplight, clock ticking. I should probably mention that some of these lines were inspired to stolen by a panel at the Beastly AWP conference with Forrest Gander, Cole Swenson, Cal Vedient, Brenda Hillman, and Lynn, who's at Pitt. I can't remember her last name. Sorry. Manuel, thank you. That's good. I have a lot of literary questions, but maybe I won't ask this now. Okay, this is another brand new one, Sound Archaeology, the relationship of ululating to echo. I don't really know if that's the title, but that's what it is for now. Let me read that again. Sound archaeology, the relationship of ululating to echo. What he didn't say to her in recognition is what he did not recognize himself. Slowly the air whipped in argumentation, sword of Damocles, or a double-edged sword. Two sides to every story. He said, "You are not listening." She replied, "You are always talking." Last night, he responds, "I dreamt an egg cracked open. Your saber-toothed sweater was inside, unthreading itself in tendrils, weaving through sewers, grills. Water began to pour from the sky. It rained?" She asked. "Yes, it rained. Come here, baby. Come to mommy's son." He recalled the owl blinking back at him the day before at the zoo. "Petite sauvage," she puled. "Jesus," he said, not really leapt but leaned back. Electricity buzzed underneath his cap. "Mother," he breathed. The tree is a tower to the sky. If he was smaller, he'd climb it now to almost autumn light, the Manhattan skyline filled with buildings' flight. The bird lands the first time he speaks the word, in a fraught memorial. "Mother." It lands on his head. He stops. The bird moves to his hand. Architecture aside, the present ghostly matters. The sparrow flies singing from his hand. I'm going to read one from our parenthetical ontology, which is for sale here, if anyone's interested. This is called Global Warming. Did I say warming? It's supposed to be a warning. Global warning. Summer is a heat with many rooms, like a cigarette, but it plants itself outside any window and glints like lake light. With the agency to speak for herself, April does so through addicting sunlight, so much a woman, painting vermilion lipstick, a charged red end to invierno. Outdoors, everyone is ecstatic. Inside, the weight of rain. If circumcision then fertile sans pleasure, bulbs mean clitorally, pop the cherry-looking glass. Whoever blossoms fractures, a life in mirrors. So I'm going to read 3 elements, and this next one, or the first element rather, is radium, or 2 reactions, and it's in conversation with Kate Greenstreet and Laurie Anderson Mosman's pieces. Jolie might not be one of your color colony dates, but I know just what you, calm to coordination, might say. These luminous treasures before me might not be at the brink of what's poisonous, but pollen down the river like women we lost passes like morning cooking. A mother long-lived and radiant where brown-eyed Susans lie everywhere, satisfied by marking granite. In fact, old poisonous unintelligibles die hard sunrise-wise, imagining luminous treasures we share, golden kill. I'm interested in lab tables, but damn the burn. Haven't we done all we could do? Did I tell you heart and mind possess the same character in Chinese? Whether oatmeal or spectraline griddle cake, we have something here. At her house, they aren't dates, they're photographs. Deadly reflections of trunks and foliage agree they hurt, like blood on the page from the tiny spider reaction, the sound of gunshots, extraterrestrial, take breath. 4 empty green chairs by the ongoing hair fire heave, where her fire burning bright, the half-poisoned night. When we dead awaken, yellowbird cries like 10, outcrop kitchen memory irradiates, becoming swerves. How far would she really be? I mean, coming from spontaneous fire. This is perhaps what we all want, the dove cooing new metal delight or discovery something frightening is not simply coloration. Our product is acknowledgement of deadly potential. Talk to the scientist, the artist of hope and view, reluctant, the light gives understandable pride. So, this a burden minute etching throat thicket, so now will you.